Hey guys, important breaking news from Tesla in China today, and I've already commented on Twitter. By the way, if you don't follow me there yet, go to _mm85, and also of course in the Patreon network already gave my first impression on the news, or my first take. So two kind of news. The first one is actually that Tesla seemed to have briefed local suppliers about the potential of a smaller Model Y and a production capacity of up to 4 million units annually. So this is something that I've been talking a long time already about, which is that I think Tesla should offer something more affordable and smaller, particularly in China. So I'm hoping that this might be actually a China-related model, but maybe it's even global. But I was very disappointed in previous earnings calls when Elon Musk was kind of talking down on the potential of a smaller, more affordable model, because I thought that doesn't really make sense for where I see the long-term vision of Tesla as a company. But now it seems like this might be possibly a response to getting the volume up on the long term, and also potentially seeing what's going on here in China in terms of what BYD is doing in all of these smaller sub-brands. So that is exciting, still a rumor, but if it's true, then I think that's the right way to go. And generally, I think these are important measures from Elon Musk here and Tesla for their future in China. And I've been a little bit critical, for example, about my take that Elon Musk hasn't been here in China for years. And that was because of my own experience here, that, I've been watching China quite, let's say, detailed or every day, the moves around the EV industry, following it as close as I can. But coming here, it's just a very different experience. And the fact that most of the auto CEOs, including the German brands, have already visited China, but Elon Musk has missed out on that, I think that was a kind of a crucial point that needed to be addressed. And seems like now first Mayor Musk has been to China for 2 weeks, and now it seems that Elon Musk is coming next and also meeting with high-ranking politicians. One of them, the former former Chinese US ambassador, which previously was already sitting with Elon Musk in a Tesla driving on the FSD beta program, and he has now been become a prime minister in the new Chinese cabinet, and so it's a very important figure. So this shows good connections actually by Elon Musk with Chinese politicians, also with the former mayor of Shanghai, which famously also brought Tesla to Shanghai, who's also now part of this new Chinese administration, who he possibly will be meeting in Beijing. And all of that leads me to the next speculation and very important point, which is about Tesla possibly launching FSD beta here in China. And this is huge news. And that's because China is a bit on a different path for FSD compared to, or autonomous driving compared to Tesla's approach. So China, or Chinese companies, mostly rely on HD maps, on a different sensor suite, including LiDAR, and also V2X technology. So vehicles can communicate between each other and also to street infrastructure. And I've been trying out the Neo NOP Plus, the latest Xiaopeng pilot, city pilot here in Shenzhen actually. And I will make a separate dedicated video to that. Also the Huawei approach to autonomous driving or up to level 4. And all of them rely on this different approach to Tesla. And of course, Tesla wants to build this vision-only approach, which basically could theoretically work everywhere without relying on maps. And here's the important thing. Tesla has the disadvantage in this regard that they are a wholly foreign-owned company in China. So usually that's a great thing, right? So they 100% own their company. They don't have any joint venture. But actually, I thought this might be a negative when it comes to autonomous driving or FSD. And we haven't seen any changes in autonomous driving or Tesla Pilot here in China for a very long time. So basically, the Tesla Pilot hasn't changed in all the 3 years that I haven't been to China. So I basically don't even have to check it because the functionality isn't any different. And right now, to be honest, Neo Pilot is better than what Tesla Pilot has to offer here in China. Xpeng Pilot is better. Huawei is better. So I thought lots of this has to do with the fact that Tesla is a 100% Western-owned company here in China, and usually they only grant some of these licenses necessary for telecommunications, V2X technology and such to Chinese companies. As a Western company or as a 100% wholly owned company, you won't be able to get it. And that's why in this case actually the old model of having a Chinese joint venture partner or being a Chinese company is actually quite important. And I think that's also what I think this is also what investors really assumed throughout assessing the valuation of Tesla, that just ruling out actually the Chinese market as a potential addressable market for FSD, because simply there was no way that they could become a player here. But now this rumor, which is actually coming from Caixin, so not a small media, it's still a rumor, so we don't know if it's true, but I'd say there's some credibility to it, and it's not a small magazine, right? So if this is true that they managed to roll out FSD beta here and coupled that with Elon Musk's visit to China and meeting those high-ranking politicians, that means, how I interpret it is that this means actually Tesla struck somehow of a deal, or Tesla managed to navigate this very complex, very difficult legal and regulatory place that is China here. And possibly they struck a solution, which might be that's just my best guess, but I think they are most likely adopting a local solution here in China and might be replicating their dojo AI training and machine learning infrastructure here in China. So instead of sending like the images for labeling and training the neural nets, instead of sending them to the US where Tesla is running their dojo program, I think they will replicate the same infrastructure actually here in China. And I think this might be part of the deal, that China wants this in the country because there's ways they can learn from it. Who knows, maybe there is a sub-provider helping Tesla doing that, so that it's compliant with all of the regulatory frameworks, data uses, cyber security law, all of this. Maybe that partner is even Tencent, who is a big shareholder, and by the way also cooperating with Neo on self-driving and image recognition training, the algorithms and stuff. So it might be a strategic move here by China to allow Tesla doing that in order to also have this type of approach in China, because otherwise the danger for them is if Tesla might be successful in the US and China doesn't have this, it basically would restrict Chinese companies to never be able to do anything like this overseas, because it would be an isolated approach in China. And so maybe they want this technology also in their country and allowing Tesla to do it and allowing Tesla to be successful with that, and therefore also making the competition more fierce here as well. Anyways, both of these rumors are not confirmed, but we've got Elon Musk possibly visiting the country very soon. Maybe he's even at Auto Shanghai. I'll be there. And anyways, sorry, it's gonna be a bit loud here. Anyways, if that's the case, I think that's a very bullish sign and unlocks quite a bit of potential shareholder value here, because as I mentioned before, I think investors have not planned with this. I think they recognize that Tesla might be a little bit out of the game here in China, but certainly if this deal is true, you need to revalue Tesla stock for the potential of assessing or playing a role in this large addressable market here. And yes, of course, you can always argue whether or not FSD is ready or not, or how much can it be monetized, or how much of the potential share is going to Tesla. But the fact is that if this rumor turns out to be true, then this is actually big news and something that needs to be considered. By the way, look at this. It's a beautiful Neo EOS 6. Can't wait for the new version to be launched. Anyways, I hope this worked out as a good update here on the ground again. Please leave a like, comment and share, and see you in the next video.